YouTube.
Yo, you don't want to hear that. Yo.
What's good, YouTube? We're back with another banger because Brennan just sold a 25-minute video.
Nah, bro. You're not putting this in your intro. You're not putting this in your intro, bro. Bro, we up here recording a 25-minute video reacting to AMP escapes prison, and this man had the volume all the way down.
That was his fault. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna watch 13 close animal encounters caught on video. Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Sure you got the volume. Bro, that was you. That was your fault,
bro.
Anyways, we're gonna get into this video, straight into it. You know what I'm saying? And we finna, like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, you go start to his channel. I take over. Start to my channel. I was just send it.
I tell you on this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Trash.
Trash.
Let's get it, bro. Let's get it, bro.
In our modern world, humans often have to go out of their way to get up close and personal with wild animals. Some of us even pay for the opportunity with popular tourist activities like safaris or whale watching tours. Even though these animals may be intrinsically interesting to watch in their natural environment, we need to be exceptionally careful around them, especially when we're on their turf. Otherwise, we may find ourselves in an uncomfortable situation, like you're about to witness in these 13 close animal encounters. Number 13. Fishing. The second most popular outdoor activity behind running or jogging. Few things rival the excitement of feeling a tug on your line and battling a fish all the way to the surface. And when they finally do surface, you can relax and revel in your accomplishment. Well, at least usually. In this clip, you can see a man is fishing for catfish with a jug line. Unfortunately for him, there's no catfish on the other end of the line. As he pulls this catch to the surface, he makes the shocking realization that a gigantic alligator is hooked.
Oh!
After he sees his prehistoric pal on the line, he yeets the float back into the water and paddles away, fearing for his life. The alligator could have easily capsized a small boat, or at least caused a bit of panic if it began thrashing when it surfaced.
He thrashing real
fast. He was gone.
See you later, alligator. I just
look at his legs. He was
Number 12.
What did you like?
Whale watching is a popular recreational activity that generates over $2 billion US per year. While generally one of the safer wild animal tours you can go on, it's pretty easy to see how this could go wrong pretty quickly if you're having an unlucky day. This group of whale watchers had the surprise of their lives when one of the whales decided to introduce itself in a rather unique way.
It's coming again. This one has got a vengeance.
Oh my God.
The whale had smacked into their boat and left the barnacles that were attached to its stomach strewn across the deck. Lucky for them though, the whale didn't breach far enough to cause serious damage to the boat or anybody on board. Number 11. Occasionally, a situation arises that common sense may dictate as dangerous, but since everybody else is doing it, we join in ourselves. Mob mentality can sometimes lead us into sticky situations. For example, if everyone has exited their vehicle and is taking pictures of a nearby bear, it's still probably not a good idea to do the same thing.
I would never do that. No, I would stay
Despite
in the
this
car.
seemingly common sense statement, this clip shows an example of individuals who didn't quite grasp this concept. This incident occurred on Highway 93 near Jasper, Alberta, Canada. There were several individuals who had left their cars to photograph a bear close up, and the bear decided that he had had enough of being spectated. He charged a nearby
Hold on. See how there's no black people out there, bro? They know it's up. They're not going outside. No racial,
no offense,
but like all Caucasians, bro. There's no black people out there talking about some. No, we're in the car. We're out. We're not trying to get mauled by a bear, bro. Just, bro.
For the first time in history, the technique of turning around and pretending something doesn't exist actually worked.
What?
The bear had gotten his message across and was satisfied that he had sent the group scurrying back to their vehicles.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get a great deal on.
You know what I'm saying? I'm ads, you know what it is. You know what we gotta do, you know what we did.
Camry and
Oh,
more.
shoot.
I'll cook it. I'll get this wrapped up for you.
Number 10. Speaking of intimidating Canadian wildlife, elk are some of the larger and more powerful land animals that exist.
Biting this night.
Despite being herbivores, they can be extremely territorial. And so you might want to stay out of their way if you don't want to be charged at or gouged by their gigantic antlers. As opposed to giving them their deserved distance, this tourist gets right up in the giant elk's face. Despite being clearly agitated and bluff charging him, the man is resilient and seems to be unafraid of his impending date with this elk's cranium. Eventually, he decides to back off after a bit more convincing. But ultimately, he turns around again and continues filming the creature at a relatively unsafe distance. It just goes to show that some people can take a hint.
He just trying to eat his grass.
Number 9. An animal doesn't necessarily have to be extremely intimidating to put us in a dangerous situation.
See that horns, how far they go back?
Sometimes we have close encounters with those
Imagine
who
that
wouldn't
hitting your
expect to be
stomach, bro.
threatening,
Your bones are crushed.
especially if you throw young children into the equation. And this mother is letting her child get acquainted with some more tame animals as they go to get a closer look at the rooster. And meanwhile, a ram is charging in from downtown
Look at that.
with enough velocity to send the toddler flying. Luckily for them, mom reflexes kicked in and she pulls her child out
And
of
she's
harm's way
laughing
without a
about
second
it.
to
Yeah,
spare.
Bro.
If
Like,
the
he
ram
was
had
not
managed to
playing
connect a
games.
sprinting headbutt, there's a good chance that this unexpected child would have been seriously injured or possibly even killed.
That kid would have
Once again, no black people doing this.
As you may remember from the bear incident earlier on our list,
He the
it
instructor.
is
He
advised
know what
that
he's
when
doing.
around wild predators, you should not exit your vehicle for any reason. Unfortunately for this next family, they never reached that chapter of their survival guide. This family had made their way to a safari park in the Dutch city of Tilburg. The video begins with the car behind them recording their ill-advised decision to get out of their car for closer photos of the nearby cheetahs. Soon after, they drove a short ways away and got out of the car once again. But this time, the cheetahs were on the chase. The cheetahs had actually singled out the toddler among the family and began stalking him as if he were their prey. Lucky for him, his mother was able to shoo away the predators before they pounced. While in the end, the family made it back safely. Their negligence put their child in immense danger,
They have a
and
whole
they were lucky to
baby,
get
yo.
away unscathed.
Oh.
Number 7. If you've been following along with our other videos, you know that the ocean can be a scary place. We can't get much more out of our element than being in the middle of the sea. And that's exactly where this next clip is taking us. In the French Navy, it is tradition that on the last day of your assignment, you leap off the ship and take a swim. And that's what we're watching here.
Oh, a shark came or something.
Unfortunately for this soldier, he's not alone in the water.
Yeah, there's a shark or
A
something.
large shark comes up to inspect what just hit the water and brushes the swimming soldier's foot as he goes in for a closer look. Thankfully, the shark determined that he wasn't a meal and swam away without any aggression. If the shark had taken a different approach, this soldier could have had a pretty tragic final day. Number 6. While most of these encounters have involved humans venturing a bit too far into a predator's territory, that isn't always the case. Sometimes the predators come directly to us, as we can see in this video. 2 men were riding their motorcycles in Wayanad, India, when something decided to pay them a visit. Seemingly out of nowhere, a tiger emerges from the brush and sprints.
Yo, he's out.
The men narrowly manage to distance themselves from the hungry cat.
That's crazy.
That being said, this definitely wouldn't be a road I would recommend taking a jog down. Number 5. As we've seen, you don't always have to go out of your way to find yourself a bit too close to a dangerous animal. One time you need to keep this in mind and be especially careful of your surroundings.
Why that water looks so green?
Is when you're camping. A gigantic grizzly bear found his way into this man's campsite, and he's looking for food. The camper, still inside his tent and just a few feet away, manages to capture some amazing up-close video of this impressive bear. Eventually, he returns to his tent without arousing too much suspicion. And there doesn't seem to be much backstory on this clip.
That's a
big
grizzly
uploaded at all.
That is a big.
I'm assuming this guy got lucky and avoided becoming bear food.
Yo, bro. Yo, bro.
Number 4. What could be worse than getting too close to a dangerous animal? How about bringing some food along and taunting them with it? Yeah, I would say that's worse. This clip shows a man holding a large piece of meat in an attempt to lure out whatever lies in this murky pond. What emerges is pure nightmare fuel. This beast of an alligator launches itself from the water, breaking the still, algae-covered surface and revealing what lies below. The man who was luring him out gets a healthy boost to his heart rate and manages to back up just in time to avoid becoming this gator's dinner. I know I'll be checking twice before I get close to any ponds.
I'll just do the meat and be out. Yeah.
Number 3. As we saw a short while ago, grizzly bears are no joke. But at least the one we saw was calm and just scavenging for food. If we take that same massive animal and put it into attack mode, the result is terrifying. These two snowmobilers have gotten themselves way too close to one of Earth's most voracious predators. The guy directly behind the grizzly decides to begin recording their experience and tailgating the beast closely. While this may seem like a brilliant idea, you'll see that it's not exactly foolproof. The bear becomes irritated or scared, and quickly turns toward the man behind him while attempting to swipe him.
I was watching a video YouTube and I seen that.
He narrowly avoids the beefy bear paw and speeds off.
Boy.
Next time, I wouldn't recommend getting out
yo, if y'all don't stop following me, I'm gonna smack you.
He said, oh yeah?
Number 2. One of the most important things they
that's
warn
like a
about
whole,
when visiting wildlife reserves or national
if a bear
parks
smacks you, that's like a
is to
whole
keep a safe distance
300
from the
pounds
animals.
just on your head, bro.
Unfortunately, not everyone
Because
follows
bears weigh
this
like
basic
600
rule,
pounds.
and when they don't, incidents can occur.
Look at this bison.
Just last year in Yellowstone National Park, a 9-year-old girl was visiting with her family and managed to get a close look at some of the bison. In fact, they were in a group of nearly 50 people that were casually loitering around the animals, and one bison got a bit fed up with everyone crowding his space. He begins to charge and singles out the young girl, headbutting her. He flings her hand in the air and flips her completely.
Nah, bro. Yo, yo.
Look at her body, yo.
Yo, bro.
Yo, she's gonna remember that for the rest of her life, bro. You be like, yo,
It's a
remember
good
that
video, bro? Like, what? Hold on. He just got flung in the air, bro.
They be like,
by a bison.
They be like, yo, remember that time you got like suplexed by a bison?
Yo, bro.
Your body, bro. She said, I believe I can fly.
Yeah, you gotta put that in there.
Yes,
Yeah, bro. Yo.
The girl was treated by park emergency workers but sustained no serious injuries.
Wait, she's
No
9?
serious
Honorary
injuries,
mention.
bro.
In our first honorary mention, we witnessed a truly
just got
terrifying
flung,
close
bro.
encounter
No serious
between a
injuries,
giant
bro.
bird of
Like,
prey and an innocent child.
You're dead after that.
As you can see, the
That's
child has the
crazy.
turkey close on his heels. Running for his life, he gains the attention of the passing vehicles, and one man decides to come out to the rescue. Putting his vehicle between the child and the bloodthirsty turkey just in time,
That's tough.
this man very well may have saved the child's life. For his heroic efforts, he has earned our first honorary mention. And now let's finish the countdown.
Oh, at number 1, Really?
Jesus.
Number 1. Finally, we reached number 1 on our list of close animal encounters. What could possibly be deserving of the number 1 closest animal encounter? How about an animal slapping a human with another animal? In this clip, Kyle Mullender was out kayaking in Kakura, New Zealand, when he received an unexpected visit from a seal and an octopus at the same time.
What?
Underwater?
Oh!
What?
He ate that.
He takes his slap like a champ, and they continue their kayaking trip with an unforgettable moment that
The
they were
seal
fortunate enough to
smacked
capture
him
on camera.
with the octopus
That's
leg.
one way to become more in touch with nature.
That's crazy.
As we've seen, animals can be rather unpredictable. But one way to minimize the risk is to keep a safe distance when you're in their territory.
Facts.
I'm
Not every
saying,
close
bro.
encounter
Like,
ends
imagine
in
someone
full-time
walking in
response
your
on this
house
list.
and just taking
And
pictures
wild
like
animals
this.
should be treated with respect.
I'm going to pull out the 9. I'm pulling out the glizzy, bro. Like, bro, that's
I know,
There will
bro.
always be people willing
Yo,
to
pause?
bro. In New York, they called a gun a glizzy, bro. They used to call the gun glizzy, bro. Not the actual glizzy.
I know, but like, bro, you had to say that.
Bro, I'll pull out the glizzy on you, bro. No homo, no homo. You know what I meant.
Yeah. It just
Hey, bro, do the outro, bro. Do the outro, bro. Come on, man. You know what I meant.
Alright, man, that's gonna do it for the 13 close animal encounters caught on video, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. Like, subscribe, turn on the bell, you know what I'm saying? Tell anybody, you know what I'm saying? Share video, comment, you know what I'm saying? What y'all wanna see next. And that's pretty much it, man. That's been why I take one
Super Rash just send it. Hey, yo, make sure you comment on his video. Sold, because he sold the 25-minute video. Yes, sir.
We reacted to MP video before this video, and this man had the volume all the way down, so he couldn't hear the audio from what we saying. And he sold. And he trying to blame it on me.
Sold the clip.
So
It's
if y'all get that video, y'all just know that.
in his comment section, bro, make sure you say sold in the chat.
Nah.
I like
I
it.
want to see all the
I
comments
like
saying
sold,
sold,
bro. And we out. Right, like that.